Taurus, hello. Welcome to Coffee, Sage, and Tarot. This is going to be your monthly reading for December 2025. It's crazy. Time is flying. Speaking of the end of the year, I am doing or booking. I have some spots available for a 2026 overview. These are going to be one-on-ones between an hour to an hour and a half appointment or session, and we will just take a look at each month and see what that has in store for you. If you're a planner like me, you will love this. Okay, we can set that up by sending me an email, steprightin@gmail.com. That's also listed in the description of this video. Okay, all the cards are pre-shuffled. As you know, these are general readings, so take what resonates, leave what doesn't. And if you feel in your heart that specific messages are meant for you, then they're meant for you. Okay. If you're not finding yourself in these placements or in this reading whatsoever, just check your other placement. You'll find yourself in there somewhere. Okay. Let's see. All these cards were pre-shuffled. We're going to take a look at the challenge. And the opportunities, as well as what you should be releasing and what you should be embracing. Okay, so let's see here. And I'm going to try my best not to rearrange the cards a million times. I can't promise anything, but I'm going to try. So we have that Ace of Pentacles in the shadow. I don't know why I'm hopping right to your shadow, but I'm doing it. The Hermit and that Five of Swords along with the Chariot here. I'm wondering if you're showing up. I'm wondering if you're showing up differently, and this month is about that. How do I show up and interact from a different vantage point, from a different viewpoint here in a place that I feel is important, right? That kind of feels like the theme that's there in that shadow for you, Taurus. Okay, challenge here, King of Cups, being emotionally aware, knowing where you stand emotionally, or at least getting behind that, right? Kind of this idea that perhaps maybe even admitting to yourself emotionally, okay, I want this, and there's an opportunity in December for you to come to terms with that, or at least admit it to yourself, or start moving in a way that you are staying true to what you want, right? Having that emotional accountability there. The opportunity here with that Five of Pentacles. Okay, so starting something new here, or maneuvering in your physical landscape in a different way is kind of what I'm seeing here. The struggle might be there, but it feels of purpose. It feels that there is an emotional connection to what it is that you're doing and how you're navigating forward. So it's almost like if there is any struggle, that's not the focus. We're not feeling that. It's more so we're starting this journey, or where even if you're in the middle of a journey, you're looking at it differently. The perspective has changed, and so we're not looking at the loss, we're looking at the impact that it's having. Justice here in terms of the what you should be releasing. What you should be releasing, justice. Honestly, this feels like keeping the peace, doing the right thing, being diplomatic in that fashion, right? You're doing something that you feel is of purpose to you, and that means that you have to pick a side, and that's kind of what I'm seeing here, right? We can try to be diplomatic, we can try to understand everybody's position, right? But there comes a time when you need to act in your own best interest, and it feels like that's what December is shaping up to be for you, Taurus. Okay, Six of Wands here. as the what you should be embracing, and that very much feels like that, right? We're not impartial, we're not removed from the situation, right, observing it. We are very much in it, in the action here, as depicted with that Six of Wands, and having some sort of recognition, some sort of success, right? So if it is, you know, social media interaction, if it is actual tangible success within your realm here, either way there is some sort of recognition to be had, or at least it's there for you if you choose to embrace it. Okay, let's go ahead and get some clarity on that King of Cups in terms of the challenge for you. Let's see that Five of Pentacles as the opportunity for Taurus in December, please. Show me that Five of Pentacles. Yeah. That Five of Pentacles for Taurus. Thank you. Show me Justice as what we should be releasing. Show me Justice as what Taurus should be releasing, please. Show me Justice. Thank you. As what Taurus should be releasing. And show me that Six of Wands as what Taurus should be embracing, please. Okay. Thank you. Interesting. Okay. All right. You feel very passionate. Almost, I would caution you, Taurus, of having that passion turn to anger or being quick with your temper as we head into December, okay? So to clarify that King of Cups energy in terms of the challenge for this month, we have Temperance, Queen of Swords, Ace of Swords, and Ten of Pentacles. Yeah, seeing some truth on something, or at least coming to terms with a perspective here that doesn't even feel right. It feels like you're finally admitting to yourself that you're finally being honest with yourself about something. And it feels like whatever this Ace of Swords opportunity is, you're picking it up finally. And whatever this perspective is, it is making tangible changes for you in your physical environment. Okay. Yeah, it just feels like you're aligning to something here. And finally picking up that sword, finally picking up that new perspective, that new thought, that new idea, and running with it. And to be clear, with that Ten of Pentacles, it does have to do with perhaps even accepting something in your physical realm, but that idea is fully embraced, and then we're seeing it in your physical environment. Okay. With that Five of Pentacles here, in terms of the opportunities available to you in December, Taurus, we have Judgment, the Four of Wands on in the reverse, as well as the Tower. Again, not entirely surprised, right? This really makes sense because it does feel like whatever you're doing is of purpose. You feel very aligned to where you're headed, and it feels almost like a call to action. Okay, with that Judgment there. Four of Wands in the reverse, this could mean you might be moving. You might be trying to figure out how to move. You might be uncomfortable with some aspect of your home environment, or something has come in and disrupted you can no longer you're no longer comfortable where you used to be comfortable. Something's come in and disrupted that. And with that Tower coming through, has shaken that a little bit, has shaken you a little bit, right? Yeah, just disrupted your norm. And it feels, I'm wondering if you're thinking the impact should be greater than what it is. Like more people should feel it than those that are. Um but that, in saying that, I'm wondering if for some of you, your home no longer feels like your home, so you're kind of burning it to the ground in some way, shape, or form as it relates to this, right? You're kind of like, okay, I am now aligned to this perspective here where I was sitting. It's no longer comfortable for me. Home doesn't feel like home. And if it's not home, like, take it as it resonates here. But this no longer serves me. So it's done. I'm done with it. And I'm going to, burn it to the ground. That's kind of the vibe that I'm getting here. Okay. 0 F's given because you're so aligned to your path and what you're doing with this new perspective. Okay. In terms of justice here and what you should be releasing. And again, we're flying through your reading. You're like, yep, know this. Yep. Check. Yep. Check. Okay, cool. We're on the same page. You get it. I got it. Okay, good. We're done. That's really what it feels like. With justice here, in terms of what you should be releasing, Taurus, we have that 7 of Cups on its side. We have the 10 of Swords, right side up, and then we have the Star on its side. Whatever you're doing, however you're moving, it feels like a fundamental shift for you, right? That's clear. This is impactful for you. It's a challenge here. Yeah, it's just it's challenging, and it's almost like there's some aspect of where you were headed or where your life was headed and what you saw for yourself that no longer fits. Okay. And we don't have clarity on that. And there's some aspect of your star that no longer serves. And so there's obviously some confusion there. And maybe we don't know what's going in its place, but we know we cannot continue in the way that we were. And just kind of keeping with that sword energy, right? With justice here, kind of being the peacekeeper. It's almost, and it could even be that, right? That there's an understanding here that no longer fits. Just even that, right? Justice, being the peacekeeper, being the one that keeps everybody, nice, keeps everybody, keeps the family together, right? Especially heading into the holidays here. It's this idea that's not a position that serves you anymore. That's not a position that you are that's not your place anymore with that star on its side. And it's a little bit of a difficult realization here, but a necessary one. Where you used to fit before is not where you fit anymore. And so we need to release that, right? And that's kind of what I'm feeling here. And again, it feels very much like we know where we need to be, and we're taking the steps to get there, and kind of, having our little let the house on fire moment. But along with that, it feels uncomfortable that perhaps we can't show up in ways that we used to, and in ways that people relied on us to show up, if that makes sense. Okay. Heading into that Six of Wands, we have the Six of Swords, King of Wands on its side, Ace of Wands also on its side. So again, a little bit of a mirroring here. And again, this, even just you see it in the imagery here, this idea of moving on, right? I promised I wouldn't spend a lot of time moving the cards, and here I am moving the cards. But you can't see that Ace of Wands. So this idea, right, of moving forward and leaving this behind, leaving some aspect of this star behind, of this vision of our life, this purpose, that, was this star ever yours, or was it forced upon you, is my question, right? And maybe it's that it was forced upon you, and you took it as yours, but you've now come to the realization that it is not for you. And so it makes sense that there's anger and emotion and, maybe some rage, hostility, right? And even this kind of tendency to just burn it to the ground, right? Because we've realized, maybe we were pushed into this and we didn't have a say, or maybe we thought this was right for us, but we weren't given factual information, or we weren't given the whole story, or whatever it is, right? So just, kind of rectifying that in our brain, but very much this idea of moving on. Okay, King of Wands, Ace of Wands. Again, this idea here with this fire energy, it feels like we go from the King to the Ace, or the King and the Ace here, not knowing how to direct your energy. And so that's why we're showing up with that King of Wands in the reverse, a little angry, right? A little temperamental, a little short fused, because we're moving somewhere, but where we're headed, we don't know. What does it look like? I don't know. How do we feel about it? Not that great, but we're doing it. Right. And so that's kind of what I'm seeing here. It's this idea of we're kind of on the fence with, where we put our energy, how we direct our energy, and how we dispel that excess energy. Right. And so very much moving on individually, right? Moving on and away. And still, yes, there's some sort of recognition here. Maybe this is a very public move, a public distancing, a public event that happens, right? Which perhaps might add to that anger or that upset, right? But ultimately here, can you see that? No, you can't. But ultimately here in the shadow, right, we have that Knight of Wands, but then we have that Nine of Pentacles, that Nine of Cups, and that Hermit energy. Ultimately here, moving and maneuvering in a way that is fulfilling to you on a material level and on an emotional level and internal level as well. So feeling whole from without and within, and understanding with the full weight of you that this is challenging and there might be some emotion surrounding this and it might not be easy, but it's the path that is required for you, right? And it very much is your path. It is you doing this, right? So yeah, let's go ahead and get some final thoughts here for Taurus. Yeah. Ace of Pentacles showing up now twice, right? The Star, the Devil, Ace of Swords, the Fool. And what did we have in here? Yeah, Hermit, right? Hermit now showing up twice, right? Five of Wands, the Chariot. Yeah, very much repeating things here, moving forward in a way that works for you. It doesn't have to work for anybody else. It has to work for you. And in, your final thoughts here with that Ace of Pentacles, with that Star showing up, with the Devil, with the Ace of Swords, with that Fool energy, it really does feel like there's an opportunity here for you to understand where this went wrong, where this Star got off track, right? And maybe that whatever this opportunity is, or whatever this kind of commitment to yourself is, right? Because you are earth energy. It is a commitment to you, and a commitment to understanding where the disconnect happened between what you wanted and where you are, and taking some new thought here, some new perspective, right? That Ace of Swords, and really moving forward in earnest, right? For yourself, pursuing what you need to pursue, not because you made a decision a long time ago, or somebody made a decision for you and you were never allowed to step outside of that, right? So coming here, we have that Five of Pentacles again showing up, right? This idea of we are leaving a place of, I don't want to say comfort, because I don't feel like it's that, at least anymore for you. It's a place that we know, and leaving it, embarking into the unknown, because this home is not for you anymore. This home is not your home anymore. You know that. And so you are moving away from this home. Queen of Swords showing up again, that wisdom, right? Having an understanding, Queen of Swords, again, reaffirming to you, Taurus, that there's some wisdom that has been gained that you can no longer ignore if you were ignoring it. That is almost forcing you to act, forcing you in this way. It's almost like you have no other choice but to do this now, based on all the information that you have. The Chariot here, in terms of what we should be releasing, moving forward, moving away, the movement, right? We're moving on. Slow and steady, determined, right? With that Chariot energy, that Cancer energy here, it's very much sheer will and determination. You are doing this because you want to do this, not because anyone is making you, right? Whereas, can we say the same for whatever this past Star was? I don't think we can. I think it was impressed upon you, forced on you, pushed on you, and you went along to get along, or you thought this was right for you, but now we have more information that tells us otherwise. And how do we move forward, right? For you. Page of Pentacles here, in terms of what we should be embracing. Embracing that Ace, right? Embracing that Ace. Embracing who you are. what you are, what you're made of. Having an understanding of that as well. Having an understanding of who you are. Because this situation that we're coming out of, it might have been who you were, but it's not who you are now. You know what I mean? And so let's take time to explore that again, right? Is there anything else here for Taurus? Oh yeah. Thorns, weave together the crown you deserve. Yeah, right? A little bit of sacrifice, a little bit of pain to get where we're headed, right? A little bit of discipline. You got to take the good with the bad. Shark, swim away from the situation. And I feel like that's what you're doing. You're swimming away from a situation that no longer serves you. And you're acting in your best interest. Sword, make the change. Again, right? The emphasis here is on information that is propelling you forward. You have the information. You cannot exist in the same home with this information that you now have. It doesn't fit. It doesn't fit. Make the change. Couldn't have said it better. Couldn't have said it better. Taurus, this is what I have for you here for the month of December. Truly, truly powerful reading here. Very insightful reading. Know that I'm with you always. I think of you always, and I wish you all the very best, okay? I hope this helped you gain a little bit of clarity as we head into December. Thank you so much for stopping by, and we'll see you next time. You take care.